if you are looking about how to plan your garden, this is the right video for you. I will show you 4 important steps that you need to remember when planning out your garden area. All right, so the 4 things that you need to remember when planning your garden. The first is sun. So when you take a look at where my raised beds are, you'll notice there's nothing that's gonna be shading the area. There's no trees, and the sun passes like this over our yard, so that fence never shades the garden. Vegetables need a lot of sun to grow, so you definitely need to have an area that's super sunny. What you can do is just draw a little picture of your yard and where you're thinking about putting your garden, and then just one day go out there and check on the hour if it's sunny or not, and that will tell you how many hours of sunlight you're gonna get in your garden. So one thing in our garden over here, there is a tree, and that provides us a little bit of shade in this area, and you'll notice there's no bed there because I didn't want it to be super shaded. If you are building your garden on a deck or patio, you're gonna wanna build it away from the house, on the far side from the house, so that it doesn't get shade from your apartment or house. If you're going to be doing this inside your home, look for a window that's either on the south or north side. That way it's not just getting morning or evening light. That's gonna maximize the number of hours of sun that it gets a day. If you don't have one of those windows, just find the window in your house that has the most light, and you might want to consider getting a grow light if it's going to be getting less than 6 hours of sunlight a day. I'll put a link for a grow light that I have from Amazon down in the description, so you can check that out if you need it. The second thing you're going to want to consider is your water source. Now, I have built a rain barrel right there, and I'll put a description for that here, I think. So I have water like right next to my garden. I also have a spigot off the house right here that's fairly close that a hose can easily reach. If you're building your garden outside, make sure that you have a water source nearby, so that you can either run irrigation from that or use a hose to water your garden with. If you're inside or on a deck or patio, you might want to consider getting 2 watering cans, so one can be filling up while you're using one, and then you can alternate them. I have one that's really cute that I got from Amazon that I'll link below, but any watering can will work. The third thing you want to think about is spacing. Your plants need more space than you think. Even like the smallest plants are going to need 1 square foot to grow. So you're going to want to space out your plants in your beds or in your pots. And on top of that, you're going to want to space your beds out. We have 3 feet between our bed, which provides us enough room to walk between so that I can tend to the garden and pull weeds and water and do all that stuff. We even think that sometimes that's a little small when the plants have gotten really big. So at least 3 feet between beds is adequate spacing. And the last thing that you need to remember, number 4 here, is how many people you're trying to feed. What's your goal for the garden? How big do you want to be? Today, we are going to be expanding my garden because this is the step that I did not think about. I only planted 3 raised beds and a little bit of flowers, which have been awesome. I made a homemade bouquet right here. I love it so much. It's awesome and it smells really good. But I'm expanding significantly today. You'll notice I'm putting in a whole extra 3 more beds, so I'm basically doubling my area, and I'm also going to be doing some row gardening on top of that. So think about how big you want to go. I do think having a plan in mind will help you not have to do work over and over again. Like we had to pull out a fence this morning. So thinking about your master plan and how big you want it to be, how many people you want to feed is a great thing to have from the start when planning out your garden. I do have some websites that I use that kind of talk about how many you need to plant to feed how many people. So I'll link some of that stuff down in the description below so you can check it out. But a website I really like and use a lot, and I've talked about them before, is Urban Farmer. So check them out for if you have any questions about how much to plant of stuff to feed your family. All right, so those are the 4 things that you need to remember when planning out your garden: light, water, spacing, and how many people you're trying to feed. All right, so let's go make some changes. Right here is where I have my flowers, and you know that it's the end of the season. Those are basically done. I'm actually gonna be pulling those out and laying the dead flowers along the back fence. That's so that they can reseed back there. The dead flowers, when they die, they're gonna release their seeds, and hopefully we'll get some flowers just along the wooden fence in the back next spring, which I think will be really beautiful. Then I have a couple of pots right here that I am growing fruit trees in. I'm doing that because we're not going to be in this home forever, and I want to be able to take my fruit trees with me because it takes so long to get established. So I'm going to be actually taking some of those fruit trees inside for this winter since it is their first winter and they're still pretty small. That will be fine for them to be inside. And then next spring when I bring them out, I'm actually going to put them over in this area as close to this bed as possible away from that tree so that it won't get too much shade. And then we're going to put in 3 more beds right along here. And then the rest of the area down this way is gonna be row garden. So that's the first time I'm gonna be doing garden rows. I'm really excited about it. Make sure you are subscribed so you just see everything that goes on in there. If this video had the information that you were looking for, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe because I make new videos every Thursday about gardening tips that you don't even know you need to know. Bye. This is a normal chicken behavior. They're taking a little dust bath. It's hilarious that they do that. But yeah, that's a normal chicken behavior. They do dust baths to prevent mites in their feathers, like under their feathers and stuff. So that is normal if you see your chickens doing that, even though it looks very strange. All right, so the 4 things you need, take 2. And now can I tell you, Nala has something in her mouth. That we can alternate them. Nala, no. Hey. Give me a little dance move. Come on. Look at my vase.